President Trump receiving high praise from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for recognizing Jerusalem as the official capital of Israel.
We're profoundly grateful for the President for his courageous and just decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and to prepare for the opening of the U.S. Embassy here. This decision reflects the President's commitment to an ancient but enduring truth, to fulfilling his promises, and to advancing peace.
The move also getting approval from his evangelical base. Here now, First Baptist Church senior pastor and Fox News contributor, Robert Jeffress. Thank you for joining us this morning. We understand you were on a conference call with White House officials yesterday in regards to this Jerusalem move. Can you tell us about it?
Well, I have been over the last several days on a conference call with State Department officials and White House officials about this. And look, I believe President Trump is a modern profile and courage for having the guts to do what no other American president has been willing to do. And look, those who are devout Jews and Christians celebrate this decision because they believe what the Bible says, that God gave this country to Israel and made Jerusalem the capital 3,000 years ago. But beyond that, this is the right thing to do. I mean, we recognize the right of every other country in the world to name its own capital. Nobody argues with France's right to make Paris its capital city. Why should Israel be any different? I think the president made the right call here.
Well, he's made a lot of, it's been great for him with his evangelical base, and there's a lot of people that do see it your way. I think there is a lot of concern, and there has been in the past from politicians, that this will stir the pot, and you worry about what this is going to do to the Middle East at this point, because it's angered a lot of people as well.
Well, I think the president made an excellent point yesterday when he said the current policy that has been in place for decades certainly hasn't made peace in the Middle East. Maybe it's time to try something new. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think as the White House, the president, Jared Kushner sit down at the negotiating table, perhaps it's the wise move to go ahead and take Jerusalem off the table to begin with and start negotiating from a position of strength rather than weakness.
You know, a lot of people do think that this is going to derail, as you're talking about, the peace process. And I guess my question to you is, what should we look at and learn from history in regards to this?
Well, I think what we ought to look at in history, even for those who don't believe the Bible, history confirms that this land belongs to Israel. You know, this idea of Palestinians, most of our viewers don't know that term Palestine was invented by the Roman Emperor Hadrian in 100 A.D. as a way of saying to the conquered Jewish people, this land is no longer yours. But history shows that Israel, the Jewish people, occupied this land before the Arabs, before the Palestinians, before the Muslims. And you know, I had an Israeli officer say to me one time, he said, Robert, what if Israel said to the United States, we are no longer going to recognize Washington, D.C. as your capital until you divide a portion of the capital and give it to Canada and another portion of Mexico to be neighborly. That is ludicrous, but that illustrates exactly why the president made exactly the right call. He is on the right side of history, and more importantly, he's on the right side of God.
You're making a good point that nothing in the past has worked. I don't know what will work to solve the problems in the Middle East, but we will find out. Robert, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it.